just got back from spending 2 days in the mountains of North Carolina at Targa Carolina 2020, a 2-day air-cooled Porsche rally. Amazing experience. I, of course, got tons of footage of the whole thing. And while I was up there, I got interviews with a couple guys about their Porsche 911s. Initially, my plan was to bake those interviews into the entire video covering Targa Carolina, but this morning, as I was editing, I was like, maybe I should just publish these interviews as a standalone. So this particular interview is with a guy by the name of Dave. He's got a 1972 Porsche 911T, long hood, beautiful car, very cool. Dave can tell you all about his car. Before I jump into the interview segment, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up on this video, and I hope you enjoyed this.
How you doing? Thanks for having me. Big fan of the channel. Dave Carr. We're here at Targa Carolinas 2020. This is 1972 911T. I've had this car for a couple of years. Really can't say enough about the analog feel, the driving experience of these old long hoods. This is numbers matching 2.4 liter MFI, super peppy. The original color is actually aubergine. It has a really old respray, but I kind of like the fact that the paint has some patina and some issues. So I don't care about a few rock chips, but it's super honest car. It's fun to drive and an absolute blast on these mountain roads.
So what have you done to it?
Honestly, the only thing I've done is the wheels. Wanted to go, it had some mini light wheels when I first purchased the car. So I wanted to go back to the Fuchs look, and also sort of the classic tire setup. It had a little bit wider, lower profile tire. So I went with these Vredestein Sprint Classic 185, super skinny. But this is the OEM setup and stance. It has been lowered. I did source a pair of sport seats, which has been an absolute game changer. When I was here last year, the bench seats, I remember my left quad being on fire for a couple of days because it was planted against my door, keeping me in place. But I was able to source a set of Scheel sport seats, sort of period correct. They're from the 80s, and they're super snug. And really have been a game changer when it comes to keeping your ass in the right place on these roads. I actually bought this car from Charles Stanley, who's an R Group member. He is just a great source of information as well as finding cars for people. So he actually bought this car from someone in Virginia. It was kind of the classic car that went up for sale, but not really publicly. And he bought the car. He had it for a few months. And I had a black 997 that I absolutely loved. I've just been kind of a car fanatic since I was a little kid. And he had this car. I came and visited him in Chapel Hill, drove the car, and then drove it back home. So it's been great. I have 2 teenage daughters that are the love of my life. They both love the car, so I take them on little cruises. And as we talked about before, this has been a COVID lifesaver. Just I call them the point A to point A drive. Just to kind of get out and take a spin has been definitely a lifesaver during our lives of quarantine. I would say my favorite memory of this car is when I drove it back from Chapel Hill to Charlotte. And my daughter came out. She was, I guess, 16 at the time. And I think I saw her kind of well up. I've convinced her to be a car person. And she hopped in, and just that initial spin that we took was just one of those priceless things. Just to see her excitement for it, knowing that we would have, time in the car and all that stuff. So obviously I love Targa Carolinas and getting out on these mountain roads, but honestly, just going to grab breakfast at, in the morning with your daughter, and she's appreciating it,
So just using
that's
the
what
car.
it's all about, for sure. Yeah.
All right, well, Dave, thank you so much, man. I'm gonna have to follow you in this car. So there you have it. My plan is to start doing more of these types of interview videos. A lot of the viewers out there tend to really like them, so I'll be doing more of that. And in the meantime, I'll be editing a bunch of footage of Targa Carolina 2020, and I will be uploading that video shortly. So if you're not a subscriber and yet you want to see footage of a air-cooled Porsche rally, then I urge you to subscribe. So appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.